little bit late, technical difficulties. Didn't realize I didn't have this one scheduled on the channel, but we're here. It is time to wake up in Barca. There's rumors about an Arsenal swap, possibly for two players. Ugh. We're going to talk about Coutinho, some updates to the number 10. There's some other rumors going around in terms of our rosters. Transfer window is still open, my friends, so there might be some people coming, might be some people going, and of course, we'll talk about all the debt. How about now? How about the microphone now? Talk about technical difficulties, folks. Hang on. How about now? Does it sound okay? Now? It should, and we'll turn off the desktop audio. Okay. Tell you what, folks. It's Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday. Feels a lot like a Monday. We're going to turn things around. We're going to get some positivity going. We're going to talk about Aubameyang and Lacazette rumors. We're going to talk about Umtiti rumors. We're going to talk about Coutinho rumors. We're going to talk about the debt. We're going to talk about whatever else comes up under the headlines. And, of course, whatever pops up in the chat. Because this is Wake Up in Barca, everybody's favorite morning show for Cules around the world. Let's go ahead and get this party started.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
Okay, so we are getting a little bit of a late start. Had some technical difficulties, but we're here. We're ready to wake up in Barca. We'll be here today. We'll be here Friday, and then we got a weekend match coming up. Saturday, we are playing Atletico Bilbao. Big one. Big test for this new face of Barcelona. All right, so let's start with Vipula, spoiler alert. We can go ahead and start with that. Reports coming out. My nephew Ayush over in India actually sent me a message on Instagram as well, and we'll go ahead and jump into Coutinho news because, as I mentioned on the stream during the match, Raymond was wearing the number 14, which left really only two options for our buddy Philippe Coutinho. It means that either Coutinho was going to be on his way out the door or Coutinho was going to get the number 10. And it is looking like, according to reports coming out of Forbes and Yahoo and some others here, it looks like Coutinho is going to be wearing the number 10, my friends. Let's see here. All right, this is going to work. Philippe Coutinho's Premier League return stance revealed. Arsenal transfer rumors. We'll get into that next, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's go Coutinho, number 10, because I know that there's articles going on about it. Turn on the fan so it's not so hot in here. Here we go. Football. Barcelona offered Lionel Messi's number 10 to Philippe Coutinho. Folks, this is pretty big news, to be honest. Last year, Coutinho was injured for a big chunk of it. Ronald Koeman ended up halfway through the season switching formations around, switched to a 3 center back formation. I really think that formation was going to suit Coutinho quite well. We are back to a 4-3-3, so I'm very curious to see if Ronald Koeman is going to play him on the left wing out of position, or is he going to give him a center mid position? Have Frankie de Jong in that defensive role, and then have Pedri and Coutinho as the two box-to-box midfielders. We saw Pedri do it for Spain in the Euros. Yes, he is on the smaller side in terms of physicality, but he held his own against Europe's best. So we put him at center mid, and then Coutinho. Similarly, same thing against, not against, but when he was playing for Bayern Munich, if I could maybe click on the right thing here, when he was playing for Bayern Munich, center mid position. Yes, he's an attacking mid. Yes, he likes to get out on the wing. However, traditionally, he can play as an attacking mid or like a left attacking mid. So that's what I want to see out of Coutinho. If he gets this number 10, I hope that he gets to be an attacking midfielder. I would love to see De Jong and Pedri alongside him, I should say, in that midfield 3. So right off the bat, what do you all think about Coutinho wearing the number 10 jersey, my friends? And by the way, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, referee. Mandox, good morning. Vipula, good morning. I don't know if we're going to have a lot of folks jumping in today. I totally messed up scheduling this stream. I scheduled one for Friday, but not Wednesday. So I popped up and almost started Friday's stream by accident. So thankfully, we're here, and we still have some news to talk about. Referee, I'm with you on that one. I actually don't care who wears what numbers. I want to see good performances. I was pleasantly surprised with, hang on. I'm going to switch here, but I know that when I do, there we go. Okay. I was pleasantly surprised by the performance over the weekend. Braithwaite really stepped up. Depay with his creativity. Depay was the outlet for most of our transitions into counterattack. Depay would drop into that kind of false 9 position. He was strong on the ball. He was decisive. I think that's the word that comes to mind when I think about the Barcelona performance over the weekend against Sociedad. It was decisive. Players weren't hesitating when they get the ball. They weren't picking their head up and looking for where Messi is. They had a sense of where each other was on the pitch. There was lots of flick-on, lots of one-touch passing, lots of fluidity in the attack, but we were decisive. We were forward-focused. It wasn't the tiki-taka around the box and hope something opens up that we've seen the last few years. The last few years, you guys, since 2018, you got to admit, Barcelona's been pretty boring to watch. Outside of a few exciting matches where we put some big numbers on the board, or the Copa del Rey run that we had last year, it's been pretty boring, you guys. You got to admit. So with this new face that we're seeing, and maybe a new number 10 coming in with Coutinho, I'm hoping for some more excitement. That's what I'm hoping for. Ovi, good morning, good morning. Let's see. Mandak says, in my opinion, he kind of deserves, but I think he'll have some pressure on him. A lot of pressure. And listen, we can do our part in giving this a fresh start. You know what I mean? We don't have to say, oh, the number 10 has to be the next Lionel Messi. That's insanity. Absolutely insanity. Let Philippe Coutinho be Philippe Coutinho. All right? He's going to do some amazing things. He's probably going to do some frustrating things. So don't expect him to be Lionel Messi. We will be A-okay, my friends. I think we're gonna have a good midfield this year. I say it every time, but it is what it is. Coutinho was decent before his injury. Hope he can improve from that. Yes, I'm with you on that one. Vipula says some bad news about Umtiti. He wants to play Champions League and is close to playing for Monaco, but Monaco yesterday lost their first Champions League playoff to Shakhtar Donetsk. Ugh, bummer. So I think they have a second leg though, right? Yeah. 18th of August, still no major sales. Yes, but we are this close to being within the salary cap. So either Umtiti or Pjanic needs to leave, and then we can register Aguero, and then we'll be good to go. I think Aguero is the only player so far that we have not been able to register for the Liga. But speaking of Aguero, apparently, Aguero wants to go to MLS. So we'll go Aguero news. The report is that Sergio Aguero wants to leave Barcelona for the MLS already because, obviously, Lionel Messi was supposed to be here at Barcelona. That was really the one and only reason why it made sense for Aguero to come to Barcelona. And now Lionel Messi's at PSG. So it leaves Aguero standing there, wondering why all this is happening to him, why he can't catch a break. And apparently he, before he even makes his debut, has been talking about a move to MLS. Now, I don't know where he would go, but he's going to be out until November. So if he comes back in November, plays November, December, and then goes somewhere in January, it's a very strong possibility, guys. Mondoc says if Coutinho didn't get injured in the 1920 season, he would have performed excellent. I'm not super sure about that. I don't think the tactics under who was it at that point in time, Setien. I don't think the tactics were right for Coutinho in his first stint before we loaned him out to Bayern. So I'm not completely sold on that. We'll say. Let's go ahead and jump into Umtiti news. So we've talked about Coutinho getting the number 10. We've talked about Aguero possibly wanting to leave already. And if that happens, We will need another striker. Right now, we have Braithwaite and we have Raymond I. That's about it. Vipula, I did read the Umtiti news. Are you not listening to me, Vipula? Are you just posting in the chat and then post and ghost? I read it. I responded. And we'll see. We shall see. I did read this earlier today. I gotta try to reach out to these Barca Blaugranes folks. I don't know how big they are, but they seem to be one of the few people that put out consistent news in English. It's not a lot. They put out very short articles. Some of it is clickbait. You know what you're talking about, Barca Blaugranes. However, they do keep me up on the news pretty often. So the report that they put out here is that Barcelona are real close to just canceling his contract because, as Vipula said, they're trying to get someone to sign him that will give him an opportunity to play in Champions League. But at the end of the day, we just got to get him off the books. I know that, the etiquette is you want to do what's best for player and club. That would be ideal. And not that I wish, bad things upon Umtiti, but at the end of the day, the club needs that money. We don't want to pay you that money. You're not worth that money. So we got to move on, man. That's what happens. Greg says, correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't we have to pay more money to Liverpool if Coutinho plays 5 more games for us? Yes. And what I'll say is, then pay the money. We're already in so much debt. Tack on another few million. It's better to just pay that money than it is to have Coutinho sit on the bench and not play. Screw the money. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. So, the only other player left to move, besides Umtiti, and maybe Aguero go into MLS before he ever steps foot on the pitch for Barcelona. Not Umtiti. We want to go Pjanic news. That's what we're going for next. Also, since Juventus signed Locatelli, they have to sell Ramsey to get Pjanic. Pjanic has activated other options, and now Inter are in front runners to sign him. Vipula, you are getting ahead of me on these news reports. That's what we're talking about next. Let's see here. Let's go to news. Pjanic. Everybody knows Spurs target dropped from squad and transfer listed. Who? Who are they talking about? Okay. Spurs boss Nuno Espirito is keen to work with Barcelona's Miralem Pjanic in the Premier League. Cool. Take him. That would be fantastic. I actually think Pjanic would probably do pretty well in the Premier League. Yeah, I think he'd do okay. Go ahead and get him over to Tottenham. And then, I don't know, if Tottenham want to send someone our way. No, it doesn't matter. We can't talk like that. We can't talk like that. There's no more signings this year. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I was going to say maybe they want to send Ndombele our way. But it ain't going to happen. Apparently, Ronald Koeman said, I prefer to have other players. Barcelona coach confirms Pjanic's place in the pecking order. Barcelona is still hoping for Coutinho, Umtiti, and Pjanic sales. I don't think so, Gold TV. I think we are keeping Coutinho. We just gave him the number 10, after all. But here's the thing. So, yes, Juventus did sign Locatelli. And if Pjanic also comes in, then that does leave a little bit of a cramped space for playing time, particularly for some of the young midfielders at Juventus, like, I don't know, a Wesson McKennie, who may be searching for some playing time now. Maybe it's a good opportunity for the young American to look elsewhere for some playing time. Maybe he could find a team that is looking for a box-to-box midfielder, looking for someone who's tenacious and creative, can score goals, can prevent goals. Where could Weston McKennie go in Europe that would give him that opportunity, that would really appreciate? Oh, that's right, it's Barcelona. We need to get Weston McKennie at Barcelona. It makes even more sense now that Juventus are bolstering their midfield. Weston McKennie struggles to get in the starting lineup. He plays most matches, but he doesn't get in the starting 11 very often. So with Locatelli joining, another midfielder, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Yes, send Moriba over to Juventus. We'll get and Pjanic. Send Moriba and Pjanic to Juventus and send us McKennie. Please, please, please give us McKennie. There's no rumors. There's no reports. There's not even a hint of this happening. But I've been saying it all summer long. Barcelona and Wes and McKennie are a match made in heaven, my friends. It has to happen. One day. One day. Angel, hello. Good morning. UCL draw is August 28th. I think that is correct. UCL draw date. Let's see here. The schedule, match drum, When's it going to be? We just want to know. June, July, August. Group stage draw is the 26th. So some of you that are way ahead in the time zones, it might be the 27th for you. But it's going to be August 26th for the group stage draw, my friends. Very exciting stuff. We are less than a month away from match day 1 group stage Champions League. Very exciting. McKennie better than Pjanic and Ilaish. It may be seen like a joke, but it's realistic. Listen, it makes sense for both clubs, in my opinion, to make that deal. Moriba and Pjanic to Juventus, McKennie to Barcelona. It makes a lot of sense, but I don't know if anybody's brought it up. I don't know if it makes financial sense in terms of salaries. I don't know that part. But what I do know is that I want to see it. I want to see the young American taking the lead in Barcelona's midfield. If we've gotten the Pjanic of 5 or 6 years ago, I think it would have been a fantastic signing. It's a shame because I really wanted him to work out at Barca. Me too, Greg. Listen, anybody that comes into Barcelona, anybody that puts on the Blaugranes, anybody that steps onto the pitch wearing this badge, I'm in full support of you. I want you to do well. I'm not rooting against you. At the same time, it can be incredibly frustrating when you watch players like Dembele and Griezmann and Coutinho underperform. It's very frustrating. Pjanic never really got off the ground at Barcelona. He had chances. It's not like he wasn't given the opportunity to step on the pitch and perform. All right? He's had chances. He just didn't do what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's speaking of Moriba, let's check in on that. Let's check in on Moriba news. Elias Moriba offered to Liverpool with Barcelona in financial turmoil. Let's see what happens there. He'd probably fit in well at Liverpool. Liverpool are also looking to revamp their team right now. I'm very surprised Liverpool did not sell either Mo, Firmino, or Mane this year. They've got an aging midfield. They've got an aging front three. And I was quite surprised that they did not look to revamp, refresh at least part of that attack this year. Let's see what Liverpool offside says. Promising attackers being shopped to just about every club in England, but it's hard to see the Reds meeting his wage demands. Moriba, nobody's going to pay you that money, dude. You're not Paul Pogba yet. I don't know what you're thinking. Barcelona in a spot of a financial bother. That's one way to put it. A spot of a financial bother. If only we would have sold Lionel Messi last year and made $100 million, maybe we wouldn't be where we are. No big deal. When you added up wage demands and the players seemingly being shopped to every club in England and presumably elsewhere in the hopes somewhere will offer those kinds of wages, no matter the chatter, you have to assume Liverpool won't be interested. Womp, womp, womp. All right, so he's not going to Liverpool. Tottenham target. All right, so apparently Tottenham are targeting Elias and Pjanic. I don't know about that one. Mixture of Pogba and Yaya. Get out of here. He is not Pogba or Yaya. He's tall. He's physical. He has some creativity, but his decision-making is poor, and his defensive efforts are quite poor. I would say he's a defensive liability at this point. This is all Liverpool reports. Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool speak to Starlets. That was a day ago, so nothing new. We're trying to get rid of him, but high wage demands making it quite difficult. Logically, Barca will win every local league titles this year, or no? First of all, SO Snow, how you been? Or Show, excuse me, how you been? No, I don't think so. We don't have any guaranteed trophies this year. There's still time for Mbappe to go to Real Madrid. That's a possibility. Outside of that, Atletico Madrid are still going to be challenging for Copa and La Liga. Those are really our top challengers. No one else from last year really gave us much trouble. It was a lot on us and not performing. So realistically, I think La Liga and Copa del Rey are within our grasp. They're not locks. It's not a guarantee, but I think a domestic double, possibly triple if we win the Super Copa in, I believe, January. Possibly a domestic triple. I don't like our chances in Champions League. I'm trying to, we lost Lionel Messi, right? But we are still a top 10, if not a top 5 club in the world. When you look at our attack, Depay, Griezmann, Goatweight, and then the injured players, Aguero, Dembele, we have a great lineup. Pedri, De Jong, still an aging Busquets, Dest, Alba, Piqué, Araujo, Mingueza, Eric Garcia looking fantastic. We've got a good club, you guys. We really do. Yes, it is Lionel Messi-less, but we've got some stars. We got some creative players. We got some things to be excited about. So we're going to settle things down over the next year or two. We're probably not going to be bringing in any huge names. We got to get the finances figured out. The number keeps climbing. It just keeps climbing. It was just under $1 billion. Then it was over $1 billion. Now it's at like $1.5 billion, last number that I saw. So it's just, we got to get that stuff worked out. That's what needs to happen. Yeah, $1.3 billion. Just a spot of financial trouble, Vipula. We have to get La Liga and Copa, then call it a better year. Yeah, if we win La Liga and Copa this year, it will be a little bit bittersweet just because of the way things played out with Messi, but I'll be very happy for the success. I think we have a better squad than Madrid and Atletico. Yes, bigger names, right? We definitely have bigger names than Atletico. Push come to shove, it might be a little bit biased. I do think we have a better team than both Madrids. Not sure, but we'll see. Vipula asks, why does Coleman hate Ricky Puig? I don't know. I've described his playing style as a little bit sporadic at times, a little bit spastic. I don't know. I think he just can't rely on him. I'm not sure why. He gets very little playing time. Could have easily subbed Ricky Puig for Pedri after 80 minutes. Dude, Pedri was tired. I'm actually worried about Pedri. Pedri needs a rest. Pedri was not impactful in the game. He was not influencing anything on the ball. Very few times did I call his name throughout the match, and he was just kind of there. Tired legs, tired mind. I definitely would have subbed on Ricky Puig or somebody else earlier than what we saw. It's a common theme for ex-player managers. They tend to have grudges against certain players. It's very possible, WJH. And also welcome. I think this might be your first time participating in the chat. So hello. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, very, very strange the way that Ronald Koeman treats Ricky Puig. Because the youngsters are getting opportunities. But for some reason, Ricky Puig, he can't get a start to save his life. And this year, he's wearing the number 6. So similarly to Coutinho wearing the number 10, it's an indicator that we're going to be relying on him a bit more. Ricky Puig going from the number 12 to the number 6 should be a sign that we're going to rely on him a little bit more. But it's just not happening. It's just not happening, folks. The other rumors that we have not talked about, because it's pretty much already been squashed, Aubameyang and Lacazette links. There were some rumors that we were maybe going to swap Coutinho for one of those two, Aubameyang or Lacazette. I don't necessarily want either one. They are both coming in with high salaries, so it's like, what are we doing here? Both are over 30. I would take Aubameyang. If Aubameyang came for a year or two, I would take him. I would actually take Aubameyang over Aguero, but I also don't want to get in the habit of overpaying aging strikers. I don't want to do that either. But the facts remain that we need to have some bodies throughout the season. Come springtime, we're gonna be playing in La Liga, Copa del Rey, and Champions League. There's gonna be times when you have 3 matches in a 10-day period or less. Injuries occur. It is what it is. So you got to factor that in. We're probably going to need another forward. But with that said, The chat is correct. It's pretty much been squashed. Fabrizio Romano came out on Instagram, said that none of those rumors were true, that Barcelona are not looking at Aubameyang particularly. So we'll see. If it ends up happening, all right. But I think we need to be prepared excuse me, for moving forward with the squad as is, minus one or two players, either Umtiti, Pjanic, whoops, almost launched my coffee everywhere, or Mariba. One of the two. Sheehan, hello, good morning. Just back Manai, he's had a great preseason. Sure, he's had a good preseason. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. He's much older than I thought. He's like 24, something like that. I thought he was a youngster, a sweet little baby, but he's not. He's a bit older. Priority for Barca is Ansu and Pedri contract. I would say yes. Before we bring in anybody else, let's definitely secure Ansu Fati and Pedri. When Ansu Fati does come back, and hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. I think he's within a month of return. He definitely could be on that left wing instead of Goatway. I think the fact that we're seeing Depay in the center of the pitch and Goatway on the left, I think means that Ronald Koeman wants Depay and Griezmann getting comfortable playing in the center and Griezmann on the right, so that when Ansu Fati does come back, Ansu Fati will play on the left, Depay in the center, Griezmann on the right. That will probably end up being the starting lineup. As much as I appreciate and I am loving the performances from Goatway right now, chances are, when we're fully healthy, when Aguero, Dembele, and Ansu Fati are all fully fit, chances are Goatway isn't going to start. As sad as I am to say that, because of his recent performances. Fabiani, I'm with you. Mariba needs to go. With players taking huge salary cuts, apparently PK took over 50%. With players taking big salary cuts, now is not the time to be holding the line and asking for more money and a bigger salary, especially when you haven't earned it, dude. Come back, earn it. That's what you need to do. You need to play well. You need to show that you're creative. You need to show that you're not as big of a defensive liability as I think you are. Prove yourself and then get the money. We should sell him and get $15 million for Goatway. There were some reports that Goatway was being shopped to some clubs like Tottenham and West Ham, some other English Premier League clubs. But as of right now, we got to keep him. Even if we can get 15 mil for him, I don't know if we should sell him. We don't have any other strikers, really. We've got Depay, who's really more of a false nine. We got Griezmann, who's more of a false nine. And then we have Braithwaite. So outside of that, we have Raymond I, who's unproven at the senior level. Greg says we got some young players with promise coming through. Just need to give them proper chance in the first team. Yeah, that's what we need to do for these next year or two, is put the focus on the youth, put the focus on securing the promising talent that's coming up, and give them those experiences. Now is the time. The expectations are low. I think that this is as good as time as any to get a fresh start, get the young players, the Ricky Puig and others into the starting lineup, get them that playing time so that they can take the next step up. And if they're not ready to take that next step up, then we look to sell them. That's what we'll do next summer or even in January. We'll see. Can't sell from a position of weakness. That's a New York Jets move. That's hilarious, Cules. I agree with you that you don't want to be selling when you are looking desperate. So with Barcelona's debt and their salary cap crisis, yes, we don't want to be selling right now, but we're desperate. Those are the facts. We bought players too high because we were desperate, and now we are trying to offload them for too low because we're desperate. So we just got to get the back office sorted out. We really, really do. Realistically, will Xavi be at Barca in the next few years? I would say yes. I don't think it's going to be next year, but in the next 3 to 5 years, I would say Xavi at Barcelona makes sense. There's a good chance that Xavi was hipped to the financial crisis going on at Barcelona and said to himself, you know what? I don't want my first year at Barcelona to be the first year without Lionel Messi. Let's not be Barcelona's manager this year. I think Xavi was looking into the future there, saw some things to be some concerned about and said, never mind. Do I remember Alex Vidal? He joined Espanyol. I do remember Alex Vidal. Right back, I believe. Haven't talked about Xavi for a while. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. There were lots of rumors over the summer. I tried to tell you guys best that I could that 90% of it was clickbait. My hair's getting so long, you guys. I say this every day, but it's getting real long. 90% of it is clickbait. So it is what it is. I don't think Xavi will be here next year, maybe the year after, but no earlier than that. Those are my thoughts. All right, folks. I got to get my day going. Apologies for the late start and confusion today. We'll go ahead and get next week's shows scheduled so that we don't run into this again. Woke up, started the stream, and I was like, oh, this is not the right date. This is Friday's date. Didn't even realize that I didn't have Wednesdays scheduled. Referee, we don't need to get into that. We'll talk about internet culture another time. We don't need to get into all of that. Do I know of any websites where I can get the player names on Barca shirts? Other than the Barca website, they don't ship to Australia. I'm in the same boat. They don't ship to the U.S. You need to go to soccer.com. WJH. That's where you want to go. If you go to soccer.com, you can also order it from Nike, I believe. Either Nike or soccer.com. What's up, Secure? Cool. I doubt it, but good for you. Good for you. What did I miss? What are all the laughing faces at? What did I say or do? Ambarish, that's pretty aggressive. We don't need to hate anybody. I mean, I'm with you. I'm a little bit frustrated that he is not finding a new home so we can get him off of our books, but hate's a pretty strong word. I wouldn't go in with that. I don't know about all of that jazz. So what's up next? Friday morning, we are here. Wake Up and Barca will be doing the pregame show. So we'll be going over the lineups. We'll be going over our opponent. We'll do some score predictions. And we'll do it all here on Wake Up and Barca. Greg, I appreciate the support, my man. Glad you were able to stop in. Yeah, you're hilarious, Secure. That was a really good joke. Really good joke. Anyway. I know. Listen, Ambarish, I'm frustrated too, but don't carry that around with you. You know what I mean? You can be frustrated, but don't carry hate in your heart. There's just no need for it, particularly with Barcelona players, right? We can be frustrated. We can be disappointed. There's times when I want to pull my hair out about it, but at the end of the day, my friends, we are here because we love the sport. We love the Blaugranes. Más que un club. Visca Barça. Chris, good morning, buddy. Jumping in just in time for me to say good morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. We do it because we love the Blaugranes. That's why we're here. So Wake Up in Barca. Thank you for coming and spending your morning with me. Like I said, we'll be here Friday for the pregame show. We are playing Atletico Bilbao. It's going to be a big test for Barcelona. So we'll go over the lineups. We'll go over score predictions, all that good stuff. Friday morning right here on the Undefeated channel. Wake Up in Barca, 7 a.m. We'll see you there, my friends. Thank you so much for starting your day with me. Thank you for tuning in and taking a ride. We'll see you next time. Mwah.